What is up, everyone? I'm back, and today, finally, I'm gonna get to do the spoiler review of the WandaVision episode 7 Through the Fourth Wall, I think it was called. And this one was very, very interesting, and it had a lot of questions answered, and was definitely setting up the the coming last two episodes in a real big way. And there was a big reveal in the end as well, which most people already kind of figured it was gonna be the case, but it was still really cool when it happened. And so yeah, this one has a lot of things, but not as much maybe as the last few episodes. So hopefully this review won't be as long. This video won't be as long as the other ones, but I will try to keep it simple and short as possible, and so it won't get too boring. And so, but yeah, you can see that quick little intro as my spoiler-free review. I enjoyed the episode, so go check it out if you haven't already, and then you can come back and see what I have to what I think about it, and hear about some of the things that happens in there, some of the Easter eggs and other stuff like that. But yeah, okay, but other than that, let's just get into this, okay? The synopsis and the walkthrough of the episode. This one starts off with Wanda laying in bed. This is pretty much she wakes up in bed. This is probably the day after everything happened, when she expanded everything, like expanded the hex and all that, or the anomaly, whatever you want to call it. And then we see that she's feeling looking kind of distant, or something, like not caring anymore in some type of way. And this is probably because everything has really not gone her way. Never, anything has just changed and starting to fall apart, and she's pretty much just given up on trying to really make this all work and keep it together. Because it's just she's exhausted. She doesn't feel like doing that anymore, and that's why she kind of puts herself in like a timeout kind of thing, like a day off, or she calls herself like she's punishing herself or something. But it's whatever. But that's kind of the reason. That's why also she hasn't gone and found Vision yet. He's still out there on that field, laying on the ground, and we'll get to that in a second. But um, he's still out there, so that's pretty much why she hasn't done that either, because she doesn't. She just want to distance herself from the actual reality. But she also doesn't feel like going through try everything in the process of trying to keep everything together. She's just like, oh, I'm just gonna live here and closed in for myself as much as possible. At least that's what I kind of get from that. Um, but then we see Billy and Tommy come up to her and ask her for help, because they're sitting down in the living room playing games, and their gaming controllers are starting to change. Their modern gaming controllers change to older Wii controllers, then to like Atari controllers, and or maybe it's the other way around, and then finally to like just Uno cards, and they kind of do like digression type thing into like past, and that's gonna be the the whole theme around surrounding Wanda's house throughout this episode. It's things are just changing around, and we'll get to why later. And it has some type of big connection to how everything is wrapping up and how everything has changed now, when things aren't the same, and things are not working out too well for Wanda as she would have wanted it to be. Um, but she keeps herself kind of distant. She brushes it off, but after a while, she gets down and goes downstairs. She changes clothes. And she tries to go and eat breakfast. But we see that things are still changing around her a lot. Around her, everything in the kitchen and the living room and all that stuff. We see the milk carton really changing around a lot. And we'll get there's something there, or something there. I'll get there in a second. But first, I want to say there's another little Easter egg when she pulls out the cereal. We see it says sugar snaps, and that's a little reference to the snap, the Thanos snap, that that she got dusted away, and also Thanos killed Vision, of course. So it has to do with her, the hint towards once again towards her history a little bit, and what happened before, and that's In reality, it actually is a real cereal. They just added snaps instead of the actual word that is there. I don't remember exactly what it was actually called, but it's sugar something. But maybe sort of crash or something like, I don't know exactly, but it was it's something similar, but they changed it to snaps instead. But that's a little fun thing. But then we see also there's a missing child photo on the back of the milk carton when it changes around. That's like back in the day they used to put that stuff like when there was a missing child they used to put it in the back of the milk carton in America. Usually not over here, we have never done that, but in America that was usually a thing then. And there's nothing special with the picture itself, but that could be a smaller hint towards what will happen later in the episode. Something to do with the twins, and I get to that, we'll get to that, but that's a little small foreshadowing. If you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's you wouldn't be watching this otherwise. But I'll talk about that later when it's time to talk about it, so I don't stall too much with it and waste too much time here. But um, after that, we see her that she kind of feels still distance. You see, she says kind of like it's a case of the Mondays. Or like we've seen some of the clips we've seen before shown on Good Morning America as well. Um, of her trying to just uh, explain it away, but you see that she's very distant. You see that she has kind of given up caring about trying to keep everything together. I'm sorry, I'm still feeling a little bit sick, but there's something in my throat, It's not, it's not COVID. Trust me, don't worry about that. Already had that before. That's not that again. But, anyways, um, after we see that, we cut to the theme of the of the episode. We cut to the intro, and this intro is very special and very fun because this kind of want to march to the Office. As we see throughout the episode, we will see that they're using both Modern Family and The Office kind of kind of stuff, with the fourth wall kind of breaking stuff, with the people talking to the camera and looking into the camera and all that stuff. And I love how they do that. I love how they are setting that up, and this intro definitely is no exception. Really, it's definitely very well made. And by the end of the intro, we see that it says "Made by Wanda Maximoff," which, when we get to the end of this episode, we see that maybe is not the case fully, as we thought. That isn't really the case. That this all wasn't really made by her. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But one other thing, there is some theories going on that this is like a small. This could be hinting small, a little bit to John Krasinski being cast as Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards. Uh, Definitely doesn't have to be the case, but I've seen some people talk about that. That could be something. I would love for him to be Mr. Fantastic, but I don't know if this is the thing that they're hinting at here. I think he probably will be Reed Richards. I hope so, at least. But I don't know if that's well, I lost my words. Uh, I don't think that's what they're hinting at here. Possibly, I don't. Maybe that's not really. That's maybe a little bit of a stretch, but who knows? We'll get to that a little bit about him later as well. But that's a little theory that's going around as well. Then after the intro is done, we see Hayward is up to something again. We see that he talks to another sword agent there to set up a little camp thing after the expansion thing happened, and the sword agents are still left outside of the anomaly are still with him there. Maybe it's called in some new ones as well from the actual organization later. But they reveal that the signal for the sitcoms has been cut off. That's something also that we'll get to towards the end, because that could be a work of an actual one person, which possibly isn't Wanda. So, but I think you know what I mean. But I will get to that later. But he also says that um, we're we launched today, and that could be meaning that, as you know, that this sword organization is more about creating weapons. So this is maybe one more show that's what that's Hayward's goal. That's Hayward's kind of motive to be creating new weapons to maybe replacing uh replacing the superheroes or something else like that. And that we have seen that he had been trying to use vision to create a weapon. And this could mean possibly, as I said in the last review, possibly revival of uh, maybe of Ultron, right? Maybe Ultron down the line could be coming back, because he won't be, actually isn't fully dead. You know, he can always connect to the internet and stuff like that. He's kind of a program, really, and he's like a computer virus. He doesn't really die physically like that, so we could see him come back down the line in some type of way. But this is, at least this is somewhat what they're hinting at here. That Hayward wants to make weapons, and that's what he's been trying to do here with Vision, trying to find a way to make him into a weapon, maybe, or something like that. But anyways, we then see that, speaking of Vision, we see Vision then waking up at the field. He wakes up, looks around, and he sees all these sword agents that have been turning to like circus people, pretty much. Because that's how kind of Wanda sees them. She sees them as just a joke, kind of. She sees them as clowns and weirdos, whatever. And we see this one person like me looks to be like some kind of weightlifter, I don't know, some type of thing like that, like strongman, whatever. He has this kind of belt with a big S on it that stands for sword. He said that Vision is late, like he was just a clown. He's calls Vision that like he has all the, at least you have all the makeup on. He says he's late to the show with to do with the what was it, breakout artist, and that breakout artist we see is Darcy. We see, because it pans to the side, we see Darcy standing there when she talks to the camera as well, because they're talking a little bit about being a breakout artist, and we see that she's kind of not fully aware of everything. Like, she doesn't recognize Vision when she sees him, because she's under control of his in the anomaly when she gets sucked in. So she's all under control of that, and we'll cut back to them later. But then we cut to Wanda is talking to the twins, and she's like, they're talking, asking what's going on and stuff like that, and she says that she says pretty much she doesn't know what's going on, like this just whatever. We see once more that she's being more and more distant, and she's trying to like give up on trying, really. And they ask also where is their dad, and like why didn't you get him. Like she pretty much says if he feels like you want to be away or you want to stay up, then he can, like that's his choice, or something like that. And that's showing again that Vision knows everything now. She doesn't really she want to distance herself from him, not particularly exactly fully from him, but like from the actual reality, like from the true facts and true reality, because he knows more about everything right now. She doesn't want to confront that. She doesn't want to confront that. She keeps herself away from that. That's why she didn't go out and try to find him. Then also, the twins mentioned Pietro. They said to where uncle, what about him, all that stuff, and she said that man wasn't your uncle, and that shows again that that isn't really the real Quicksilver, which is pretty interesting, which we'll get to in the end. But why is that? But maybe about why this Quicksilver actually could be the one from the X universe, plucked in from the X universe, from the other Fox X-Men universe. But like we'll get to that later. But she kind of like says, yeah, there's nothing there with him. He's not your actual uncle. And then we see Agnes come in. She gets in. And throughout the episode, we also see Wanda just using magic here and there. She doesn't care anymore about who sees her anymore. But we see Agnes come in, and she offers to help Wanda, like take the kids with her to to give her a free day off. And Wanda says, "Oh, your lifesaver, Agnes." And that's a little bit of a contradiction towards what Agnes maybe actual motives are with this. As we all know, there's hints towards her being Agatha Harkness, and she's taking in the kids, and we'll get to that then with the reveal and then. But you all know what it is. But that's that's kind of what this is. She takes the kids with her, and the kids seem a little bit awful about it. Like, what about you? They're caring about the mother. Like, don't you need her help? And she says, I'll be fine. And Agnes also says she'll be all good. And she takes them with her, to her house. And this, and like, and she like feels all but, and then Wanda gets like, oh, she explains why she feeling and everything, and then Agnes says, barriers, I got it. And that's once again, yeah, hints towards the whole hex and all that, the barriers that keeping everything in and all that stuff. So she takes the twins with her, and this is after this we see more of the house starting to glitch out or digress, and like back in some type of way. Things are like changing back to older designs of themselves, like the TV goes back like the old model of a TV, like from the 60s or something, and all that stuff. Things are changing around, and it shows more and more that Wanda is really losing control around her more and more. It's like she doesn't have that control pretty much as much anymore. And she says like that she's fine, but it really shows that she's possibly isn't, right? But then we cut to Jimmy and Monica, and they're driving to this some type of base outside one part of the hex, and they're trying to get in there again. And there's speak of Hayward and why, and we see now as well. They reveal that yeah, he is really trying to make Vision into a weapon and stuff like that. That's why he's been trying to track him and trying to get closer to him so he can get like what he's made of. Again, his technology, use him to create a weapon in some type of way. This is thanks to Darcy's like hacking, like when she sent the mail about all the information she found on the computer at the sword base there before she got sucked in. And when they get there, they meet one person that's like somewhat what was her name? Agent Goodmore, I believe her name is. She's like a military person, and she was somewhat of a good friend with Monica's mom as well, and so on. And those agents, they bring out this kind of big vehicle thing out there, like it's some kind of space buggy kind of stuff. I don't know exactly what to call it, but they're gonna use that to maybe try to get into the hex again. Monica's gonna go in there. And in the front of that car, there is like a number 9219/R, and that could be a small hint, a small reference, homage to a comic, Young Avengers comic. That, and this could be a small hint towards maybe there will be setting up the Young Avengers going forward now, coming up with, especially with Wickham and Speed, or Billy and Tommy. if they get out of this alive fully well, they could be a part of that team. Or also we have the new cast, Stature, and we have Kate Bishop, and of course Spider-Man probably is also gonna be part of that, and all those other ones, like many Young Avengers stuff that could be set up in the future. So that this could be a small little hint towards that as well. If you keep close up, that's a little thing that some people have caught up that I saw, that just wanted to mention here. But then we cut to when they let me see that Monica tries to go into this anomaly, and She first with the space buggy, she tries, but she fails. It's like it's she goes kind of in, but then it's just it's trying to push her out, and she just barely escapes before she gets also sucked in there, or maybe even killed by that. And the Hex kind of launches out the space buggy out, and we see that it's halfway made into some type of normal car, and halfway it's like the space tech thing, and we see the real power, how much a barrier has been really set up there. But then she tries again, but just by herself. She has this kind of spacesuit on already, and she goes in by herself. Even though that is trying to warn her not to do it, she goes in, and this is where we finally see her kind of fully turn into Photon, into the hero Photon, right? That's what she's called in the comics, and we can see like when she goes in there, she sees these kind of energy fields and stuff. You can see her change her eyes, everything. She gets that power. You can even hear voices from like past, from Carol Danvers, or from Captain Marvel, or from Monica, from Maria Rambeau, her mom, and other things like that. And you have this kind of transformation as she goes through, and when she comes out on the other side, you can see that her clothes are fully changed, fully just into kind of like looking like the Photon, the comic book like attire stuff, like a superhero look, in that way. So that's pretty much like the final transformation for her. We see that she has like her eyes are like kind of glowing blue, and she has that sense of energy. She can take in energy. That's one of her powers as well in the comics, that she can kind of have that thing, those type of powers in that way. Um, so yeah. After that though, we do cut to Vision and or Darcy again, and he kind of snaps Darcy out of the all the like spell and all that stuff. They say like they catch up a little bit what's happened and so on, and then they make a break for. They say they need to get to the house, to Wanda, and trying to make her, help her to get out of this, like to trying to change all this, and change back to normal. And we see Darcy kind of like punch a guy before they take a van. Very funny scene. And we see them take like a van, like a jack a van, and they go and they go off in that van to get to the house. And we cut back again quickly to Wanda, and it's like within the house is still glitching around, all the furniture, all that stuff. And then we see a little bit, we see Wanda speak to the camera again, but one person from behind the camera answers her, in some ways. She kind of says, "Don't you think you?" I think what she said. "Don't you think you deserve this?" or something like, or "Haven't you deserved this?" or something. This thing kind of thing happening. I think that was what was said, and if you listen closely, you can hear it's somewhat of a familiar voice. And once again, I'll get to that in the end. But there's a familiar, it's a familiar it's a character that is in this show, and we'll get to that. But most of you know. But I'll get to that and talk more about then, so we can all wrap it up well. But that's what happens there at least. After that, we cut to a commercial, and this is a commercial for like a pill, almost like something to help depression, or feel or sadness or something. It's called the Nexus, um, and this is something. This is kind of hinting towards what's about to happen going forward with Wanda, and what is she's about to go through. Like loss, grief, like feeling depressed again, like you getting somewhere but then losing it, like, and getting back to depression again. How she's gonna confront everything, like she's gonna confront some of the truth, pretty much, confronting the truth, seeing everything being revealed. Because Nexus is, and we can see this as Nexus is a link towards something. It's like a link that connects things that get that gets something in, like a connection or a link. And this could be something that the villain of the show needs to bring in a higher power, which I'll get to as well. So this could be a little hint towards that. Maybe something to do with Mephisto or Nightmare or something like that. So that could be a small hint towards that, because the twins, as we know, are, and you see what I'm getting here at, are like made out of shards of Mephisto's soul and some of his power. So there's now in this reality there is a part of him in there. So now whoever is gonna bring him in, maybe bring him back, could do this now because of this, and that's that little link towards them bringing it in. So that it has multiple messages like that in there. So it could mean a lot of things, but that's kind of the one of some of the main things at least. Um, yeah. Um, but after that, Christmas done. We see Agnes is with the twins. She's with the twins. She's there with them, talking to them, and she mentions Ralph again, her husband, and we still haven't seen him yet. And that's what we can come to think now, that maybe he is one of the main villains. Maybe he is one of those villains. And once again, is she Agatha Harkness then? So once again, we haven't seen him because he needs to be brought into this reality. He hasn't been brought in yet. So could this be the full plan to that they will be bringing him in, thanks to when they have the twins. And like Billy and says that it's like peaceful in her place. It's like quiet, and like the rabbit that is holding is also a little peaceful. The rabbit as well could be a hint towards her son. I don't remember the name exactly right now, but it could be a hint towards her son as well. She has a son that has some type of kind of same name as the rabbit has, or the bunny has. But anyways, this is peaceful and so, because there's not and he cannot read stuff. It's like, and then we see that there is something there. He can't kind of read the thoughts or minds of the people in the room. Really, there's something there that's stopping, and he kind of feels like it's more of a calmer place, and that's a small hint towards what's maybe about to happen. So going forward, but then we see, yeah, we see then also, like, yeah, she, well, I kind of put it in the wrong order. Sorry. This is, and now we see, this is when we see, we see Monica do all this stuff. Not before, but I just wanted to bring it all together, really. We see now, after this, we see Monica get into this, and she goes through her, and we see her get her powers. Then we cut to Vision and Darcy again. And Darcy is pretty much telling Vision everything. She's spilling the beans pretty much. She tells her about everything from his past and all that stuff. What happened in Age of not in Age of, yeah, kind of in Age of Ultron. Definitely one that he was created to be kind of like a better version of, like a, be pretty much Ultron, right? He was supposed to be Ultron, like a stronger Ultron, be a weapon some type of way, and that didn't happen. And also then what happened in Infinity War, that Thanos killed him and Wanda got sad and all that stuff, what happened. And we see that the Vision starts to kind of feel, okay, maybe I understand where Wanda is coming from, why she has done what she has done, but he still feels a little bit conflicted. And and we see also that a lot of something is trying to stop them from getting there. And we can first think maybe this is one that's trying to stop them, but there is something more to it, and there is probably somebody else doing that, and not actually that being Wanda. Um, uh, but also then Darcy also says that he and Wanda are good for each other, at least they are meant to be with each other, but there is still some tension there. But then we cut to Monica. That she comes in into the house, to Wanda's house. She confronts Wanda. She tells Wanda that about everything that's going on with Hayward and everything, um, what is happening, about the whole real situation, really. And Wanda needs to undo the hex. She needs to change this, otherwise, bad things can happen. But Wanda gets angry. She doesn't want to take any of this anymore. She does, as we said, she doesn't want to confront reality. She just wants everything to go away. She just want to keep for herself, pretty much. And starts using her powers against Wanda. She lifts her up and tries to like bring her down, just like she kind of did to Vision in a way. In an early episode, and also somehow she pressed Vision down in Civil War. And but Monica can hold her own against Wanda. We see how powerful both of them really are, but we can see more of Wanda's powers as well, especially. And we see, but like Monica lands down, she kind of takes that away, and she tries to tell that Wanda, not don't let them, don't let Hayward make you the villain, right? Or whoever doing this, don't let him make you the villain. And then Wanda says, maybe I already am. And of course, as always, right on cue like that, we see Agnes come in, and she breaks this up, and uh, we see more of her motives here. That maybe what is she actually trying to do? She takes Wanda away from Monica. She says that this doesn't concern her or whatever. She this nothing to do with her. But she then then we see Monica really tell Wanda that that begs her to please try to like don't listen to these people, like try to do everything, try to do the right thing. But then Wanda turns to her and says like, don't make me hurt you or something, stay away, don't make me hurt you. And her and Agnes walk away, and Monica is left there at the house. um Then after that, we cut to Vision. He feels like his past life doesn't really reflect who he is right now. Because even though everything's been revealed to him, he feels like that's somebody entire else's life that somebody else has lived. He doesn't feel like that's part of his current life right now, and he feels kind of conflicted in some type of way. Um, so, it takes too much time. He wants to get this solved right now. So he flies out of the van and he says like, I'm gonna go directly, fly quicker to the house, and we're gonna sell this. He leaves Darcy and he flies away, going possibly towards the house. And that's pretty much the last we see of him in this episode, which will probably see him arrive in the house next episode and things will go down. But um then we then cut to Wanda and Agnes in Agnes's house. Wanda is sitting on the sofa where Billy and Tommy sat before in the earlier scene. She asks Agnes it's really quiet, where are the twins? And we cut to we see the rabbit, and we see a fly on the wall, and or on the window, on the curtain or whatever. And that could also be one more hint towards like Mephisto, because that's the first time Mephisto appeared, was like in the comics, was like looking like a fly. He was a fly, I believe, if I've read the rumors right and stuff like that, or the theories right. So that could be a hint towards Mephisto again, because they zoom in on that fly. So that could be something right there. But anyways, Agnes tells one that they're probably playing in the basement. She intentionally says this, mind you, which we'll get to in a minute, but she intentionally says this. Wanda goes down in the basement, and when she goes down there, she sees, then she gets into this dark room, like this kind of ancient looking kind of room, with a lot of weird things on the walls. We have like a ram skull, I think, or something like that, buffalo ram skull, some stuff, and we have Then we kind of see like some boxes that are glowing, something with some kind of magical stuff in them, and we see the Darkhold. We see the Darkhold. This book that is made um, in the past, like a long time ago. It was made by what is it called? It's made out of flesh by uh, Chet, Cheton, Chetor, Chetor. I don't remember what Chaiton or some type personally. So I think it was called Chaiton or something like that. But it's made by this old kind of ancient being that made it out of flesh or something on this like uh what is it called, one Dagon or one Dagon mountain or some type of mountain. Uh and that's like a small connection to one of the comics, because that's the place that Wanda uh that when the revolutionary made Wanda conduit of the chaos, or chaos magic and stuff like that you get in the comics. So that's a little. Is it really that Darkhold, or is it some other? We have seen some other version of the Darkhold in some other as well, in some of the TV shows as well. I'm trying to connect that, but is it that the same Darkhold, or is it some other title else? But it's pretty much supposed to be the Darkhold overall, I believe at least. And we see that book there, and it's trying to glow inside, like dark magic coming out of it, and that's when we get the big reveal finally. We see, and we also see like a demon face on one of the pillars and so on. But that's when we get the big reveal. Agnes comes out, and she reveals, yes, as we all thought, she is Agatha Harkness. She is Agatha Harkness, and she has been behind everything that's been happening. That's been happening in the last episodes. She has been doing everything, setting up everything, even the thing with Vision, with her in the car with Vision. She was just putting up a face, like putting up a facade there, and just everything, all of us planned just to get Vision away. And yeah, we see her say that, and she puts on like a spell on Wanda. Wanda's eyes just become like purple or something, and then we got to like a theme song, or like an intro for Agatha, like a little theme song kind of thing, showing everything that's been happening, and then showing that she's been behind all of this, showing that she's been behind every single one of those things that's been, even bringing back Pietro. So this is it. This she behind cutting off the signal for the for the con for the what do you say uh sitcoms, right? She was the creator behind all that. She was the voice behind that camera, talking to Wanda. She was directing everything pretty much in some type of way. And this is a theory also that's going on, that Pietro that she brought in, that has been brought in, could possibly maybe then be that exact Pietro from or Peter, they call it, from the Fox X-Men universe. She could, because of all this multiverse stuff and everything, it could possibly be that she just took him in there and put him on some mind control or something. But we'll get to that in a minute. When we get to the post-credit scene, I'll talk more about it. But that's when that happens. We see that everything is her. I get to set up. She's been doing all this, and that's probably her motive. Then now she has the twins, and she can use them to bring Mephisto into this reality, or some type of mixture between him or Nightmare or something. Whatever they're gonna do, but she's gonna bring in the real big baddie, really, into this realm, into the wrong realm, and she can do that now when she has the twins, and she probably has maybe one under control now, something like that. And this is what's gonna set up, lead into this final big battle when probably Vision's gonna come in. We probably have Doctor Strange as well, Monica, like, or Photon, all of them to working together to start trying to stop this. Possibly some other stuff also going in there, who knows? There's a lot of people appearing, but that's kind of the setup for these final two episodes. They're gonna be really massive. This next episode is gonna be 47 minutes long, the longest one yet. So that's probably gonna have a lot just before the final one, which will probably be the longest of all of them, closer to an hour probably. I believe that one will be closer to an hour, at least around somewhere 50 minutes or so. I think at least it should be, because it's like the big finale of the first season or of the show. So uh, so that's yeah, that's that. That's what it ends. And with that big reveal with Agatha laughing, she says, "Yeah, she killed Sparky as well," showing yeah, she's Agatha, and that's that. But not fully yet though, because towards the end we have that post credit scene. We have that post credit scene, and that post credit scene kind of shows Monica finding the door to the basement. She's opening it up, and she looks down on into it, and maybe she's gonna enter it. But then we see Quicksilver coming in. Oh, like yeah, Evan Peters Quicksilver. He comes in, and he catches her, and he says, "Snooper's got a snoop," right? And I believe that probably he still is under control by Agatha in some way, and he's probably gonna capture Monica or something and bring her down to the basement or something, setting up the big battle in some type of way. But this also shows that yeah, if he's there, we're working with her. I'm pretty sure that she has taken him in. She hasn't just created him, because why would she? It just doesn't feel like that. That would be, I don't know, making a lot of sense. I think she just brought in another one from another universe and mind controlled it, making it look like maybe yeah, this is possibly that Quicksilver, but no, he's not Aaron Taylor Johnson, I believe. Quicksilver, no, he's Aaron Peters Quicksilver. Peter smacks him off, as he's called there. But yeah, that's pretty much that, and that's where it all ends. And this episode really sets up these final two. It's absolutely unbelievable, and it has so much stuff. And I forgot to mention the little hint towards when they were talking with the other people in the base, Monica and Jimmy, when they got there. We see in the background some guy that kind of looks like John Krasinski a little bit, but probably not him. But we don't really see that astrophysicist or whatever he was in this episode fully. So maybe that will be a reveal in some of the last two episodes, possibly. But we still have that big cameo still to come, which I don't think will be Doctor Strange, because that's not really a surprise. We all expect Strange to be in this at the end. But there's a lot of people thinking maybe it is Mr. Fantastic, maybe it is Magneto, or maybe or someone like that, or some other person. I don't know. But we have to just wait and see what actually happens here. What will go on in this final episodes. I'm super hyped. I can't wait. Can't wait until Friday to watch the next one. And these two last ones are gonna be absolutely epic. And hopefully we get a great finale of this show. It's been incredible so far. It's been one of the best Marvel things I've watched in a long while. So besides Endgame, and so it's a great return to the MCU. Really, this show has really been a great return to the MCU after a whole more than a year of absence. So, kudos to Marvel Studios and Disney for this. It's getting us all hyped and excited, 100%. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm sorry, it got a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it's not too long, overly long. It still is pretty decently. You can skip through and catch the parts that you want to listen to the most, at least. Hopefully. So yeah, but I'm not gonna keep you waiting for much longer. That's it for me for today. I said I was gonna do a Mortal Kombat trailer reaction. I don't know if that will happening now. Possibly I'll be doing that tomorrow. It's a bit late. It's many days later. A lot of people already seen that, and a lot of other reactors already done better. But possibly we'll see. I'll maybe do a reaction to that, or I'll do a reaction to another trailer, maybe which which could be cool. There's new Godzilla footage out, so maybe I'll do a reaction to that possibly instead. But we'll just wait and see. We'll see what I'll do tomorrow. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this review and go through. And if you did, leave a like down below. And also subscribe if you haven't already. It will mean so much. Thank you to those new subscribers I've got recently. I hope you guys will enjoy some of the content I'm trying to put out here more and more. I'm trying to find time throughout school and other stuff, things I have to do. I'm trying to find some time to post more regularly, more regular each week. It's mostly it's been this WandaVision stuff now, which is, I know it's repetitive, but I'm trying my best at least to try to do something more. Otherwise, that's why I'm gonna try to do another reaction to the what has it? Some other movies and stuff like that, and some other videos coming up. Hopefully, I'll be trying can do some other stuff as well. And when this WandaVision thing is done, there'll be some other stuff as well. So I'll try to keep the uploads consistent, at least 1 or 2 videos each week, maybe more. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching, and and I'll catch you guys next time.